so you don't spit into the wind. Supertramp on a Monday. Yes. Yes, indeed. A little bit. All right, Johnny. We gotta see. We like in there, I gotta wait. I ran in there. I gotta sit there. I gotta wait. I had to wait. And I just like to just do things. I like to have enough time to do things, and I like to do whatever I'm doing. I like to do it, as best, as right as I can. And I don't know. Like I said, I take the critiquism, and if if you're busy, if you're doing something else, and you just happen to come over, and you don't have enough time yourself, but you want to come over, because you think that you have to, and maybe you're clicking on something, maybe it's just not commuting with you, maybe it's just not agreeing with you, and that's fine. There could be something going on. We're just not on the same wavelength. But for this, oh, that's a beautiful. Is it got a collar on? You don't spit into the wind. Looks like it's got a collar on. It's beautiful. It's been back. I noticed it go back and forth a few times. A little gray cat with some white under it. I know you're not supposed to do this, but you're not supposed to park, for any kind of animals. I went in there. Alright, hold on a second here. Alright, so getting back to the show as best as we can, and we'll address that whole thing, especially with comedy and all that kind of stuff. It's like a comedian will say a joke or something, and his intent is to make people laugh. It's not to make them feel uncomfortable or stuff like that. Alright, this little door here. That little door. So I'm trying to tie everything together. I started off with the advertisement thing, in the pink wrapper. Here comes a car. And, it's a flyer in there, like the advertiser. And with the young people, all in their 20s, upper 20s. Each have a car, and they just step over it. It's been in front of their sidewalk, and their stoop for since Thursday. That's when these advertisers come. So, that little door over there. For the people who grew up in Troy, that when I was a tiny little kid, that used to be like a place where they used to bring the newspapers, all of them. They used to have a lot of newspapers there. Back then, that's how we got a lot of our news. It was all a lot to do with newspapers and all that kind of stuff. But now that we're in this modern era of, you can just get it on your thing, on your thing in your car, the thing you have in your hand, anywhere. You can even go into McDonald's and get it. They got Wii's and everything. I don't know. It's just everywhere you go. You can even you don't even need to go to college anymore. Let's go to the radio. Kicked out the moss with a few. Those verses where they got me across what it is. So yes. Now here it is. It's almost quarter of, and it's my time to get back, because they take about 8 minutes, 10 minutes to load, and we say we like to be here at 5. And then after they're loaded up, I might listen to one or two. I got to see how I can make improvements, to see if it's going in the right direction. I try to put myself in the viewer's position. Is it something good? Are they learning something? I don't want to be offensive. I know all the stuff that's going on. I know, ever since the election and everything, after the election, we've been walking on eggshells and all that kind of stuff. Let's go back to the radio. Be quiet, simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. Now I put down in words. Alright, sorry, I don't have it. I used to, but I mean, the kind of singer I was, it was just more, I always said it was more of all about the sizzle. I mean, there wasn't, I couldn't carry the notes and stuff like that. Right over there, all the newspapers, stuff like that. So yesterday, I guess I was mentioning, about Frank and all that kind of stuff. And then, getting back to the intent of the comedian, stuff like that. I mean, we don't really want to offend, but but a comedian, like, when he says what he says, he's saying it to a civilian, a comedian. I mean, just like, with Leno was good. Leno was pretty good. Actually, this morning on Jay Leno's Car Garage, I mean, the guy, that must be his uniform, because he's always in the blue shirt. And I'm just saying, the money that he has, I'm just saying, why is he in this blue shirt all the time? But, it must be the show, I mean, Jay's Garage, that must be his uniform. So, again, the thing with the comedian, whoa. What are you going on about here, man? The thing with the comedian, people don't have enough time, man. Well, I'm being rushed. Well, you're just going to have to settle down. You're not going to leave here until somebody learns something today. So, the thing, with Bill Maher, I mean, see, comedians are, different kind of a people. I mean, they don't see it as, I mean, they're not taking offense to it, to all this kind of stuff, a comedian's roles, some of the best comedies. I don't know. It's been a while since I never really did comedy. I just, listened to it, in the 90s, for a while, because, I don't know. I listen to a lot of things. I listen to jazz. I listen to this kind of music. I listen to anything, the vibe, the thing that was going on at the time. So, so the thing, with Bill Maher, he's he's just saying whatever he had to say there. I'm not a fan of Bill Maher, and I'm not a fan of offending anybody. I'm just saying, they're not taking it on themselves, the comedians. They're not taking it on. They're separated from it. And what happened there was, the civilians didn't take it, as it was funny, and it flopped, Sort of a lot what we were doing. We were having a lot of shows here where there was nothing there to them, I mean, it was just me going on about, I'm getting the short end of everything, how come nobody likes me and all this kind of stuff. Well, you're not going to get anywhere, by doing it that way, because like I said, I noticed this little jump. I said I must have did something right, and then you get greedy and you want to you want to keep it going, because I mean, ultimately my intent is not what a lot of people think. I mean, I do have a goal in mind, and yes, we're late. We're very, very late here, man.